Your voice is the soundtrack to your life and presents the echo of who you really are. He says, when you change your voice, you'll transform your life. Welcome, Dr. Voice. Thank you for coming in.
Good afternoon. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, Naheem, and thank you
Yeah,
for
our pleasure.
inviting me. I think the subject that I think is in line with what we're to share today is about the voice. So perhaps to look
Mhm,
at why the
mhm,
voice. What is it that human beings are not understanding about this contraption, their sound machine?
mhm,
Your voice, when I say it's the echo of who you really are, it is actually an energy that is culminated inside the body, pushed through by the power of air to two vocal cords, which vibrate together and create
mhm,
sound. And the sound that it creates is based on your imagination of what your intent is in your words and your messages, or in many cases, in the way you sing. So we're here as human beings. Most of us don't realize that we have this extraordinary contraption called the vocal cords, the larynx, the pharynx, which was there when you were a baby. First thing, you took a breath,
mhm,
and then it was wah, wah, wah. Hello? What's that? Why take a breath and then make such a terrible noise? Because that little creature, when it first come alive, each one of us, we make that sound as a statement of our
mhm,
existence. And then we grow up and we hide behind thoughts. We get confined. We get stopped being
mhm,
expressive because of rules, regulations, authoritarianism, things around us we're not allowed to do. And this is why most of us are embarrassed about what other people
mhm,
think of us. Because, when we make sound, it's, oh, was that too loud? Or are we being this or that? This is called self consciousness, which is a part of in my opinion, the damaging aspects of our persona. It stops our self esteem, it crushes our self esteem.
mhm,
My job is to release in people their true sound, who they really are in their
mhm,
sound. Because every one of us create and copy. From a little child, we copy. We copied our mum, we copied our dad, and we copied the same tone, and we make that our own. And then we grow up and we build this character or this identity. We create this identity that was based on the sounds we heard from our parents, and we superimpose that identity on ourselves as that's our sound, that's who we are. It
mhm,
is not. It is what you've copied. This is why when someone would confront you, or if you're on stage giving a talk, or you go to say something, or somebody goes, "Excuse me," and they point their finger at you, you go red in the face. You get embarrassed. Why are you getting embarrassed? Why are you going red in the face? Because someone has just confronted you, and you actually believe you've been sussed. You actually believe they found that you're not being who you really are because you're being your mum and your dad in your
mhm,
sounds. And we hold back in an intimidating experience. And this is what we do most of our life, is we go around copying and not being who we really
mhm,
are. Now, the beautiful thing is about the voice is that it's adaptable, changeable. You can make it grow, you can expand it, you can give it so many textures and colors that it becomes uh, attuned to the deepest part in you. Most people are attuned only to
So
what
it's
they
it's not
think,
just the voice. Then you're saying it's
and
actually
then they,
it's not just for singing. It's actually applicable to like life as well, to change your outlook on life.
all right. Yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
get real, shall we, Naheem? Let's really get real about this. Let's just take, for instance, we don't value our
Uh-huh.
voice. This is all I'm saying. This is my message to the world and to all your listeners here now: is we don't
Mhm.
value our sound. We don't value it because we don't understand it. We just think it's there and it's natural and
Mm.
that's who we are. Like I said, we copy. I know this for a fact because I've had so many people come to me over the years. Like one guy phoned me up, giving an example. Oh, Mr. Wade, I would like to, my son would like to come to you for singing lessons. On okay. And
Yeah.
then I said, well, get him to call me up.
Mhm.
Next day, his son phones me up. Oh, Mr. Wade, I'm coming for singing. It's the same voice. And it was like, but younger,
Mm.
and you start hearing that people copy all the time. And then what hit me was we are not being who we really are. We
Mhm.
really aren't. When you're being who you really are, you feel good.
So.
You feel
Mm.
really good. So let your listeners do this. Reflect on the last time you got up as a seminar speaker to talk, or when you talking to your wife or your husband, or you wanting to share something with someone and you're
Oh
not
yeah.
feeling good. You're not being with who you really are. You're being with your concepts, your
Yeah.
beliefs, your insecurities, your fears. You're being with everything else
Yeah.
but you. So, how to be with you is the most powerful thing. Now, why is that voice so powerful? Why is this? Why do I dance about this around the planet? Because it really excites me to know that when a person wakes their voice up, oh my God, do they feel it? Yes. And do they have an experience of good?
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Your happiness level goes up about 33% when you live consciously in your sound, when you sing
Mhm.
or speak. Why is that? Because sound is a
Mhm.
vibration. Let's get
Yeah.
philosophical, shall we, Naheem?
Yeah.
In the philosophy of life, a vibration of this incredible thing called the infinite. Life itself is vibrating at a
Mhm.
very fast frequency. You can't see
Mm.
its vibration, it's too fast. It's broken down in many levels, like you get electricity. You see a bulb, it's very hot. A bulb is hot because the electricity is keeping it hot, because it's a vibration of the
Mm.
electricity is going into that element and keeping it hot. It's all vibration. If you cut your stomach up and put your hand in, you'll find you're hot inside your body. Why? You're not
Mm.
plugged into the wall, but you're hot.
Mm.
You're warm. Why? Because you are vibrating at an extraordinary frequency in line with nature, in line with the infinite, in line with the thing that's always been there, always will be there,
Mm.
and be there when we've gone. It's called the initial vibration, the
Mm.
primordial vibration. That vibrates and has the most extraordinary
Mm.
imagination. Its brain is phenomenal. It says, oh, and it creates a creature under a rock somewhere in Hawaii, comes running out with one eye looking at you, and you think, what the hell is that? That's the imagination of this incredible
Mm.
vibration called life. This
Yeah.
is how powerful it is. Now, this hit me one day. It really hit me
Mhm.
that the vibration of life that's giving you
Mm.
your next breath, the vibration of life
Mhm.
itself is giving you your
Yeah,
next
you're right.
breath.
Actually, I remember when
Okay?
I was studying some quantum theory. That's what it boils down to. That actually what you see is not something physical. It's actually a vibration. It's moving all the time. And
Yes.
mm,
So
Mm-hmm.
So we now, you see, we're born, we take a breath, and then wah, and that's the wall we come in at. The
Mm-hmm.
wall we go out at is we expel a breath,
Mm.
and we're finished.
Oh
We're
yeah.
dust. Well, hang on, wait a minute. What are you saying? We're 4 billion years
Mm.
dust. Then we come in the next 200,000 years, we're alive. And then you and I and everyone listening, there's no one
Mm-hmm.
exempt from this, will be in some vase or vase as a piece
Oh
of
yeah.
dust at a crematorium. That's going to happen to all of us. We will go back to dust. So
Mm.
if that's the truth, we came in this life and then we go out the other end. These two walls between the left wall and the right wall, the left wall we came in, the right wall we go out. In between those spaces, there's something prizing these two things apart, really pushing these apart from each other, the birth and the death. And that is your next
Mm.
breath. And in
Mm-hmm.
your next breath lies the first contact you ever had as a human being with your breath was your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Sound in your body
Mm.
came.
That's really interesting. I never thought of it that way. That actually, all these breaths is what holds you between those two walls, and those are like the definites of life, being
Yes,
born and dying. Mm.
absolutely. So along the
Mm-hmm.
way, we have a friend.
Mm.
It's called our
Oh yeah.
voice, and we ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
We ignore it. We ignore its function. We think and then speak. We think, oh no, no, it's all about the thinking. It's all about the brain. No, no. When you start tuning yourself into your own sound, you've got your own sound. You start to feel
Mm.
that. Oh dear, a different
Yeah.
experience takes place. All right,
Yeah.
let's go one step further. Let's just say the whole planet's finished.
Mm-hmm.
The whole universe is over,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're all dust. It's not the Big Bang's gone back to the original where it came from because anything has a beginning,
Mm-hmm.
has an ending, so it's all going to end millions of
Mm-hmm.
years from now. Who knows? The point is, when it all goes, there will be dust, and there will be this little satellite left up in the sky, floating around, and these little Martians or aliens will knock on
Mm-hmm.
the door and open the door up of our little what's left of a
Mm-hmm.
satellite of the human existence. And what are they going to hear? What are they going to see? They're going to hear Obama. They're going to hear, I have a dream. They're going to hear, we'll fight them on the beaches. They're going to hear, oh, it's fine, stick on Hitler. They're going to hear
Yeah.
all the world leaders. They're going to see the history of our nations. They're going to hear it. Look, if it was just a picture, you'd just see a picture of Elvis Presley
Mm.
beginning his neck
Oh yeah.
singing. That's no good.
Yeah.
You've got to hear it. So there'll be the Beatles, there'll be Michael Jackson, it would be showing what we
Mm.
sounded like. Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not necessarily what we look like. What did we sound
Mm.
like?
Yeah, they did send the rocket out, isn't it, out into the deep space with all the different sounds from history. So that was like a relic from Earth. That here we are. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
So the point I'm making,
Oh yeah.
the voice matters. It's the only thing we've got left in the whole of existence of our species for other creatures or other aliens to recognize or
Mm-hmm.
to get to know us. And we're putting forward our sound. And yet, here we are in a human body, not even giving it a
Mm.
thought. We do not think about
Oh
our
yeah.
sound. And we don't practice our
Mm-hmm.
sound. And if we did practice our sound, you would feel a presence, you will feel a joy, and you will feel a
Mm.
meaningfulness that you can't get through your thinking
Yeah, I
program.
never thought of it that way because now it sounds more like it's actually something we need to use for all walks of life, not just if I have an ambition to become a singer or a speaker, not just that. It's like I could have. I don't know, a completely non-voice related job, but I could still benefit by improving my voice and working on it and really expressing it the right way. Yeah.
Yes, but what you see, you're going to have to use your voice
Mm.
somewhere, somehow. And here's what's interesting. Uh, okay, so we're talking about the voice. Now, here's what's lovely. When you start working your voice, when you start waking up muscles through
Hmm.
doing exercises, by bringing about. Look, if you went to the gym and you did some exercises on your body, you start seeing defined
Mm.
muscle. You start seeing looking good. You start to feel happier. You start to feel good, wouldn't you, in your body? Well, it's the same
Mm.
with the voice. When you start exercising the vocal cords and the muscles that surround it, you've got
Wow.
64 muscles in your larynx, and it starts to surround and make resonators in your body. When you start
Mm.
doing it to your voice, uh, when you walk in a room, if you've been a keep fit man, you can stand there with all your muscles, and all the girls will look at you, and all the men will look at you with envy and think,
Yeah.
he's fit, he's amazing,
Hmm.
right? They would see that. But when you use your voice coming from a point of
Hmm.
exercising the voice, your presence and the feeling of what you say has more weight than you just sharing some information.
Mm.
It's like I say this to all my seminar speakers, all the seminar speakers in the world. I'll say, if any of you out there are seminar speakers, here it is. There's four types of speakers. The first one is an information giver. All he does, he gets up and gives you the information, and he shows you
Yeah.
pictures of it, and here's the information. The other speaker is a
Hmm.
motivational speaker. He will inject thoughts and processes that motivate you, make you feel intrigued about your own life, maybe. Then you've got the inspirational speaker, which is someone that really makes you feel like
Hmm.
you want to do something. Um, then you've got, which in my opinion is the best speaker, is a
Mm.
transformational speaker. And the transformational speaker has the power to transform his
Mm.
audience and listeners into an experience while they're sitting in front of him.
Mm.
And they have an experience from that being that's speaking, feeling the messages that is coming from that transformational speaker, and being moved, inspired, and given the information all in one
Mm.
big go. The
Hmm.
transformational speaker,
Yeah.
right? Now, this to me is where you see all over the world, a lot of people doing it. I've watched speaker after speaker, and I can't,
Hmm.
you hear them mumbling away, just talking and mumbling. They haven't woke their muscles up. They haven't got the resonators in their voice. They're not moving up and down in pitch. They're not going up here or coming back down here or going down here like that. They don't have any intrigue or story
Mm.
in their voice. When you put story into a voice, you can't put story into the voice unless you
Hmm.
do voice work. Story in a voice is this. Let me give you an example. If I
Hmm.
did this for you now, right? What story does this give you? What feeling does
Hmm.
this give you, listeners? Listen to this.
Quite
What does
warm,
that
isn't it?
make you feel? Warm, yeah, but what is the piece telling you? Is it happy or sad?
Mm. This is kind of saddish.
Right. Now, you see, you're going to the adult
Okay.
thinker in you. If
Yeah.
I say this to children in a room, do you know what they all say to me? They all call out, death,
Oh, wow.
sad. They all the children say
Okay.
that. Why? Because
Hmm.
Chopin, who wrote that, he called it the Death
Mm.
March. It's played at all the funerals in the 18th century right through. It's played at all the funerals. The Death
Okay.
March. But when you hear this piece of music, so that melody
Hmm.
affected your mood of feeling sad or death.
Mm-hmm.
which is what Chopin wanted you to feel. What does this composer want you to feel?
This is like going. You get feel like of moving. Yeah.
Triumphant.
Yeah.
Upliftment. Well, Vangelis knew, who wrote that, the composer knew when he wrote that you in the cinema would be uplifted by watching Chariots of Fire, the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which is what that piece of music is from, and make you feel like, oh, da, 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 da. Gives you promise, gives
Mm.
you like hope, right? Triumphant. So if
Mm-hmm.
melody does that to you, makes you feel like that, and we're talking
Mm.
about melody, it's just a melody. If a melody does that, what would this do? What melody would this do when you hear someone speaking? Johnny One Note. Hello, my name's Johnny One Note. I'm here to talk to you all day. I'm going to talk about some very interesting scientific facts about quantum physics. I want to take you on a journey. You can buy all my DVDs that are at the back of the room. There's a girl down there. I hope she wants to go out with me. I'm sure I'm very attractive to her. I think she wants to talk to
Oh
me.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you
It's
want to
a robot.
shoot him,
Yeah.
don't you? Right,
Yeah.
right. So, right. So this is the point. When you don't do voice work, you lean yourself towards
Oh yeah.
monotone. When you don't do voice work, you lean yourself more towards hello, and you don't even know you're doing it. And do you know why you don't even know you're doing it? Because you don't listen to your voice. You don't bother
Oh yeah.
to listen to our sound. Where is it? Where is it
Mm.
at? What's it doing? Where's my sound now? Is my sound doing this?
Mm.
Is it doing that? So when you start using what I call voice energy,
Mm-hmm.
sound in your
Mm-hmm.
body, your sound in your body, you will have a bigger effect on your
Mm.
audiences. Let me give you an
Mm-hmm.
example. My son, I used to say to him from the point of a mumbler,
Mm-hmm.
right, mumbling, I used to say, Jack, turn the lights off if you want to go to school, will you? Oh, Dad. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Jack, turn the lights off before you go to school, will you? He looked at me at the time and said, Jack, turn the lights off before I go to school, will you? No, Dad. He never turned them off, not once.
Right.
The day I used voice energy,
Okay.
and I want you to try this at home, anybody listening to this now on the podcast, I want you to do this with someone close to you, around you. I then used voice energy. And what's voice energy? Voice energy is the change in pitch. It's the change in dynamics and the volume. It's the pausing. It's got all these things. It's the elements of articulation and vowels. This is what the voice is all comprised of. And we
Mm.
never use any of it. So what I did, I started to use that with my son. So I went like this. Jack, turn the lights out before you go to school,
Mm.
please. They were out
There was so much
every
feelings on those
time.
voices. It's like you could feel the whole everything.
Yes, they were out
Oh yeah, I see.
every time. Now,
Yeah.
ask yourself a question. How powerful there is voice work if
Mm.
you're in business,
Oh yeah.
right? I remember I had dinner with a very famous comedian, and she was sitting at the table with me, and this guy was sitting there. It was quite funny, and I said to him, he said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a vocal coach." He said, "What do you do?" I said, "I change voices. I put a different dimension on to who you really are in your sound." So, okay. He said, "What, like singing and no, speakers? I do CEOs all over the world. I share with many thousands of different people. I've got one of my clients is Sam Beard, who was advisor to President Kennedy right up to President Obama. 8
Wow.
presidents he was advisor for. So, I've worked with him and changed his voice and made him a better speaker on stage, the head of the stock exchange, many different people that I've worked with over the years, very high caliber people who want to be
Mm.
more present in their sound. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
take Richard Branson, for instance. I would say Richard Branson, if he did voice work, he would have affected this world 300% more than he
Mm.
already has. Because if you hear him, he's monotone, he's quiet,
Mm.
and he mumbles. I've heard many of his talks. I've never been to them, but someone did tell me people walk out on them because they can't
Yeah,
hear him.
yeah, I see what you mean.
Right. So, so, so I said, so take Richard Branson. If he was to work on his voice, how much of effect would he have on this planet even more? And do you know, this guy said, shall I call him? I said, what? He said, shall I call him? And he
Okay.
picked the phone up. And on his phone, he had Richard Branson. I thought, okay. And then his girlfriend went, no, I work with Richard. He's got Richard's number because this woman worked with Richard. And she said, no, I know what you're saying. He does mumble. And sometimes when he's talking, we have a difficulty. We have to have a meeting sometimes after I try and work out what it is he wanted.
Mm.
So she said, you're quite right. He could do with voice work. But then she said this, you try and tell him.
Wow.
You see, it's something you have to want to do from within you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Kylie Minogue. She's a great singer. She's all right. She's a tin pin whistle voice. Kylie Minogue. I should be so lucky now. Now, if she come to me, I know I could transform her voice in 1 year and make her sound like Barbara Streisand. I know I can do that. I have diva techniques which will bring a quality to her voice she didn't think she could ever possibly do. But why would she want to do that when she's made 70 million with this tin pin whistle
Right,
voice?
I see. But the thing is, it's like it doesn't matter where you
Yeah.
are. You could be the most successful person, but you could still improve and get even better.
This is my argument.
Yeah.
My argument is, why are we not, as a species, wanting to be a better person?
Mm-hmm.
This is all I'm saying. What can you do to be a better person? And I would tell you, doing voice work will make you a better person, because you will carry a clarity, you will carry a meaningfulness, you will carry a feeling, you will carry a love of who you are when you speak. And people will feel it, and you will lift their energy up. And you could change a person's life by doing that, which is what I do every day with all the people that come to me.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing to watch someone come in my studio, someone who's a top singer recently, who's had Academy Award winners, top singer. I can't mention names, but she came in, she's sitting there saying, oh, I want to give up. I don't know what's wrong with me, I don't know. And when she sang, great voice, her voice has made her hits. But she'd never felt her real voice. So when I showed her what her real voice was, she burst into tears. And she said, I've never heard that before in my life. I said, no, you haven't. Because it's the real you. It's inside you. And as soon as she saw that, she wanted to get back to singing, because she'd given up singing. She didn't even want to do it anymore. And I got a text saying, Dr. Voice, thank you for giving me my voice back, was her answer to me. And was her response. Because we waking the voice up. Look, you can try this on the podcast. Look, first I'm going to do this for you, right? Why is the voice powerful? Because the voice is a tone already stuck inside your body, and it only needs air to hit the vocal cords for that tone to make sound. So air was given to you the first second you were born. Second most powerful thing was your voice. Baby cry, right? So right, as I was doing that, I didn't take any air in to do it, and I didn't need to push. I didn't need to try.
Yeah.
It was my pure tone that's going on inside my body. That's in every human being. If I took you up in a spaceship now and you put your ear out the window, you would hear the earth going
Mm.
as it spins. What sound of the universe is
Mm-hmm.
going on inside us? Why is it if a caveman walked in
Mm-hmm.
to a caveman, and on the wall is a big painting of
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands of people
Mm-hmm.
in an audience, and there's a stage, and on the stage is someone with a light behind them and a microphone. And he looks at the person on the stage with the microphone, and he looks at all the millions of thousands of people in the
Mm-hmm.
audience in this big auditorium. Could be Wembley, a painting of Wembley. And that could be Beyonce on the stage. It could be Sam Smith on the stage, one of my clients. He looks and he looks down and he looks at all the people and he looks up at the person on the stage. And what does he say about that person on the stage? He goes, oh, that must be a god.
Mm. Yeah.
From that painting,
Yeah.
he would detect that that must be a god. Why? Because it's making sound in a
Mm-hmm.
conscious way. That's what singing is. Making sound in
Mm-hmm.
a conscious way. When you make sound consciously, you affect
Oh
thousands
yeah.
of people.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. So. Mm.
So, and the proof of that is the universe, God itself, God, generator, operator, destroyer, the infinite itself, which is this primordial
Mm-hmm.
vibration we spoke about at the beginning, is also in every sound wave that's going on this planet. So what does it do? It loves the sound waves that go across the planet that affect thousands of people, and it allows a person to
Mm-hmm.
have the abundance that is necessary for them to
Mm.
continue to do it. Oh, why? Because it loves it. Why is there 36 programs,
Mm-hmm.
36 TV programs, not on nursing, not on agriculture, not on solicitors, not on IT, 36 TV programs, prime time television, Saturday night in 170
Mm-hmm.
odd countries in the world on
Mm.
singing? Why? On singing.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Several years ago, and there was all these Zulus running across me with go 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 go. They're all at their spears and they're running on with their straw skirts on,
Mm.
and they're in this little village. And the guy was driving me around. He said, "Come over, come to the village." I said, "Where are they all going?" "Oh, they're running to the village." "I don't know. Let's go and see." And when we ran into the village, we went into this big hut, this big hay hut, and you walked in where they live, and they were all rushing. There's all different families to one place where was this black and white TV set
Okay.
with an aerial on it to
No way.
watch X Factor.
Okay. Yeah, because that works like across languages, across boundaries. It's like the voice is universal. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So, so
Oh yeah.
voice matters.
Mm-hmm.
We have to realize
Mm.
our voice is very important. So there's the question: what are you doing to wake your voice up? So what I want viewers, the listeners, to do, I'm going to give you a little thing you can do. I want you to all try this. And I want you to try this because this is how you were born. I'm going to show you how you were born. I'm going to take you back to the memory of when you were born. Are you
Mm-hmm.
up for that? I hope so. And so if you listen to what I'm going to say, I want you, because the first thing that you ever did was you took a breath. That's the first thing. So the first thing we're going to do is take a breath in, fill our lungs up, expand the ribs, let the stomach come out through your nasal passages, through your nose, and with the mouth open. It's important to have your mouth open. When your mouth is open, you're creating a backdraft. It's like having the window and the
Okay.
door
Yeah.
open at the same time. Air goes in through the nose and in for the mouth. So shut your mouth and breathe them through your nose only. It's tough, isn't it? But now open your mouth, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
so it touches the palate at the top behind your top teeth. Put your tongue up there and breathe in through your nasal only with the mouth open. And feel how much air goes in. And feel how the backdraft of your air has been filling up your lungs. You feel that? So that's how you breathe when you were a baby. All the babies, when you see them born, they've got the tongue at the
Ah,
back of the roof of
wow.
the mouth,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So we're going back to that time. So you
Mm-hmm.
breathe in through your nasal passages with the mouth open, right? And then what we're going to do, we're just going to do a big sigh. We're going to go, just like that. That's it. Breathe in through your nasal again. Let the nostrils flare. Tongue on the roof of the mouth.
That is. Yeah.
Right. Now, as you do that, you're going to start changing your mental state because you're going to put more
Mm-hmm.
oxygen into your brain. Some of you may feel
Mm-hmm.
giddy when you do this. Don't worry. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to say a word that perfectly describes you. And I want you to say this word. And I don't want you just to say it. I want you to feel it. So how are you going to feel a word when it comes out of your mouth? Well, you've got to follow it with the breath, just like we did then. I'll give you an example. In from my nasal, fill the lungs up. You hear that? So that's breath coming out, but with a little bit of sound on it. Now we're going to do it with the word. And the word to best describe you on earth is the word me. So listen to me. You breathe in.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah, feel that again. I want you to all keep doing this, please. 3 or 4 times. Breathe in. Me. And as the word
Yeah.
me comes, yeah, feel the air go up through the larynx. Feel your lips come together with the plosive me, and feel the
Yeah.
me, the me, and feel it come out of your body. Breathe again.
Me.
Me.
Yeah.
Right. Now I've got a question for you. Those of you doing it, after I ask this question, do it again and then verify whether what I'm saying is true. Is that, does that, is that, and does that feel a fuzzy feel good? Does it feel good when you do it? Just feel
Yeah.
how good it is. Just try it again.
Me. It does good.
Me.
Yeah.
Put your consciousness on that word. It
There's
feels
a lot of
good,
depth in
doesn't
that,
it? Right.
actually. Yeah.
Why does that feel good? Because the me in you is divine.
Mm-hmm.
That me sound in you, that sound you just pronounce on the M with your breath on it,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't judge,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't criticize, doesn't live in the past,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get emotional, doesn't get fearful, doesn't do anything. It just makes sound. That's your sound right there on that me, the me in you. However, the self judges, criticizes. Some of you there that probably didn't feel what you just did, so you might not have. Keep doing it until you do, please. But some of you didn't be thinking, well, it's a load of old rubbish, isn't it? Blah, blah, blah. You'll be criticizing me. You'll be judging me because that's the
Mm-hmm.
part that's not in the me. The part that's in the me is the infinite, is the very still, powerful place inside your body. It's called the infinite presence of yourself. And that is inside the me as much as it is in that baby that goes, wah, when it makes that
Mm.
first
Yeah.
sound, right? So the me in you is divine. It's not
Mm-hmm.
attached to anything. So what happens when you practice, when you speak, that every word is like the me in you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how
Mm.
sincere and real and meaningful that would be when you
Oh, yeah.
speak?
That would be amazing.
Now,
Yeah.
I tried it. I tried it one night. I
Yeah.
had 250 people in an
Yeah.
audience at an Anthony Robbins event,
Mm-hmm.
250 people in the audience, and I asked everybody to look at each other and say, hello, how are you? But say it with your breath and say it with meaning force in your breath as you say it to each other. They all did this. And I said, right, hands up. What did you feel, sir? Yeah, you, sir. What did you feel? And he went, oh, it was like the first time I've ever said it. It was lovely. It was like it was so sincere. And then the next person, what did you feel? Well, I've never been spoken to like that. It was like very warm, very kind, and all the words were positive and uplifting. And there's a woman in the front row. And I said to this woman in the front row, I said, madam, you look really beautiful. I must say, you look really lovely. You look absolutely amazing. And then I carried on talking. I turned back and then I looked at her again and I went, breath in, madam, you look really beautiful tonight. You look really amazing. You really do. And then I turned back to the audience. And then I turned back to this woman I'd just done that to, and she was crying. And I asked her, do you mind if I said, she was, no, please, say something. I said, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lady on the front row here, and she started to cry. Madam, can I ask you why you're crying? She said, definitely. She said, when you said to me, madam, you look really beautiful tonight, you really look lovely, you look amazing, you look wonderful. When you said that to me the first time, she says, I said, yeah, in your dreams. What a load of rubbish. Didn't believe a word of it. Didn't believe a word of it. But when you just said it then, she said, it's like the first time anybody's ever said it to me in my life. And it made me cry. I'm sorry. It made me cry.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
There's your meaningfulness in your tones, in the way you express. So to do voice work is to wake up muscles, places in your body that gives you the feeling of you when you speak.
Yeah.
Like when I sing. Now I can sing, lots of singers are out there and they all sing like this. Most singers sing like this. They all sing like this, right? Every breaking wave on the shore, there's a next one, maybe one more. Every leaf on the trees, knowing that there be a breeze. Everyone is helplessness, right? And you're into the shapes of the voice, and most singing teachers love all that stuff. Oh, it's like karaoke Joe, right? Watch when I go inside myself to the voice energy in my sound beam inside me. And I don't move my lips. I don't even need to sing. I'm not doing it. It just happens inside my body. Every breaking wave on the shore tells the next one, every one more. Every falling leaf on the trees, know that there be a breeze. Everyone is helplessness, and I'm speaking to an answer phone. You know, you go your way and I go mine. You show. What am I doing? I'm completely free. I'm not forcing. I'm not trying to sing. I'm just sitting inside myself because I've gone inside to my voice to collect it. But I've also woken certain musculature up in my body through voice work that makes the chords and the voice vibrate in a different way, in the way I want it to vibrate, whatever my tune or feel I want to give it. So what you're doing, you're really learning to be with your sound. And to me, to live this life not really having heard your real sound inside your body is an utter waste of presence, consciousness, aliveness, and you miss out on being close to the infinite. And people go, oh yes, to the infinite. Yeah, I know what you mean by the infinite. The infinite. No, not intellectual infinite. I'm not talking about intellectual infinite. Let's just talk about the infinite, the never ending. It is known and has always been known. The infinite only exists in one place in the whole entire universe. You can't find it anywhere else. There's only one place the infinite lives, and that's in the
Mm.
moment. It was, it is, and it will be.
Mm-hmm.
We, as human beings, wasn't, is, and won't be.
Right. Okay. So you have to live in all the moments.
The infinite, yeah, because the sun
Yeah.
was there when you were born, wasn't it? And when you
Mm.
die, the sun's still going to burn, isn't it? See, the infinite never ends. So until it all packs up, of course, but even then that don't end. It just becomes a universe. So the point we're making is the infinite is existent
Mm.
in one place, in the is. The only place you can meet the infinite is in the is, because you
Right.
wasn't, is, and won't be. The
Right.
infinite
And will
was,
be.
is,
Right.
and
Okay.
will.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So your only time to make friends with the
Is.
infinite is in the
Yeah.
is. So where does the is exist? In the
Mm.
moment. So here's a question to all your listeners
Mm-hmm.
and to yourself, Naheem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very powerful question, or it's a statement more than it is a question. You cannot be anywhere else but in the moment when you make sound.
Mm.
You can't make sound in the past and you can't make sound in the future. You can record it, but you can't make sound in either
Mm.
of those times. The only time you can make sound is in the is, in the moment. So if you are working on your sound, you are working towards the infinite capacity
Mm.
inside you to become a better person, to become a better
Mm.
human being.
Oh yeah. That's that's very yeah, very deep actually. Yeah, it is very deep. Um, mm.
But the voice is very
Mm.
shallow in us. What happens when we start using the voice internally? It becomes deep, yes. It becomes what I'm sharing with you are
Mm.
realizations and understandings about how voice works based on 40 years of thousands of larynxes
Yeah.
in front of me. You remember this? I couldn't sing to save my life. When I first started singing, I sounded like Bob Dylan's grandmother. I was terrible. And it wasn't until I was emigrated to
Mm-hmm.
Australia, I was about 19. And on the £10 assisted
Mm-hmm.
passage, this is my story, on the £10 assisted passage, I met this princess on the
Wow.
boat. She was the
A
Duchess.
real
Her
princess.
dad owned the shipping line.
Wow.
And yeah,
Okay,
she
still.
went, well, she was a duchess. And I was sort of, we had a
Wow.
relationship on the boat. She was about 21,
Nice.
I was about 18, I think 18. And anyway, they asked me on the boat whether I'd like to get up and sing. And I thought, oh, yeah, because I'm brought up in a family of music, I thought I could sing. My brother was in Jesus Christ Superstar, Hair, he'd done lots of stuff. I thought, oh, I can do this. So when I went to go and sing, nah, I had no voice. I sounded like Chewbacca. Nah, out of Star Wars. It was terrible. So I said to the guy on the boat, I can't do this, mate. I can't do it. He said, no, you've got to now. You're on in 10 minutes. I said, but I can't do the song. I don't. So you
Yeah.
just got to get up and do it. 2,000 people in the audience. There I was. The music started. I stood in front of the mic. The
Oh.
Duchess was sitting in front of me with her dad, looking up
Yeah.
at me with a big smile on their face. And I went, nah. The whole place was in fits. People's heads were going down on their hands, and I was totally devastated. I went to my cabin, never to come out of the cabin for
Oh.
the rest of the journey. And when I hit Australia, my brother sent me a Part 8 on airmail, and in it he says, my friend Morris Gibb of the Bee Gees is they're coming to Subiaco Oval in Perth. Go and meet them. Ring him up. is the White Sands Hotel. So, right, so I rung the White Sands Hotel up, asked for Morris Gibb, got straight through. Morris Gibb. I said, Morris, is Anthony Wade. Oh, where are you? Mike said you were here. I'll send a limo. Next minute, a limousine picks me up to take me to this hotel where the Bee Gees were. I walk in a room, and I'm sitting in a room with just me and Morris Gibb only in this room. His brothers were eating. And as we were sitting there, he unveiled his whole entire life to me. He started to tell me about his breakup with Lulu, what he went through, and all these things in his life, his musical career, what he owns, what he doesn't own. And at the end of 12 hours of listening to him, he got up, he hugged me, and he cried and said, thank you so much for listening to me, because no one has ever done that in my life. This shows you how people at the top, you think they've got it made. No, they haven't. They don't get people listening to them. It's a difficult, people at the top line of they were the biggest hits in the world at the time. Staying alive, staying alive. Saturday Night Fever. It was all happening. So I said to him, no. He said, I want to do you a favour. I want to do you a favour. He says, what can I do for you? I said, no, it's fine. He says, no, let me do something for you. Okay. So anyway, he surprised me. Next minute, they're ready to go on stage at the Subiaco Oval in front of 33,000 Australians. And he calls me out on stage to sing.
You've just done 2,000 people vote. Now 33,000.
And I can't sing to save my life. And so luckily, I turned to the guy on the microphone and I said, listen, whatever you do, don't turn my microphone on. So when they were singing, 33,000 people, I go, I was a terrible sound coming out of my body, but no one could hear it, thank God. So I was signing autographs on the way back to the limousine. As I'm signing autographs, girls were bending over them, would go on their white jeans, to sign my name, because they thought I was one of the Bee Gees. They saw me on stage singing, so they thought I was one of the Bee Gees. So I got in the limousine, went back to the hotel, and then Mungo Jerry was there, who was in the charts at the time. In the summertime, when the weather, he was a big #1 hit, and he came up to, hello, mate. He said, I was a carpenter before I made it. Why don't you sing? I said, I can't. I saw you tonight on the Bee Gees. You sing with the Bee Gees. I said, no. You don't know. You get it. I can't sing. So what he said to me, he said, do it. I listened to him. They left Perth. My job was bending metal in a factory at the time. In fact, I went to the factory the next day and the guy came up to me. Here, mate, let me share a photo. I've got a photo of Barry Gibb getting in the limousine. Look, then they grate the Bee Gees. And that person he had a photo of, was the back of the head, was me getting into the limousine. I couldn't tell this guy. It was me.
Yeah.
Right? Because he just wouldn't have registered. So I then went off and decided I'm going to learn to sing. I had 5 singing teachers who begged me not to sing. They begged me not to sing.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do it. I sounded like Chewbacca. So what did I do? I then looked at all the top singing teachers in the world, who were all prodigies. They could sing perfectly. They had great voices. They taught Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. They taught the world. All their pupils were great stars. And I looked at all these top singing teachers who were bobbing up and down on the ocean of the voice. I couldn't bob up and down on the ocean of the voice like those guys because I couldn't sing properly. So what did I do? I dove to the bottom of the ocean. I went right down to the bottom of the ocean and I found some pearls. And I built a ladder. And each rung of this ladder, I created these techniques, the sound beam, that. And one ladder rung missing with Adele. I sent an email to Adele saying, you're going to lose your voice in 9 months. She sent, management sent something back to me saying, mind your own business, she got a voice coach. 9 months to that day, she lost her voice. Then I realized I started to learn my own techniques and sing, and I ended up on stage, Michael Bolton at the Pellets of Della Sport, Sydney Opera House. I was on Royal Albert Hall. I sang all over the world,
Mm.
and I put my fingers up like this, saying, "Where are those singing
Mm.
teachers now?"
Wow.
So I went on the journey of looking for my own sound. So I found it, and because I found it, I'm able to use it with utter effect in seminars, in speaking, and in singing. And that's what gives me my credentials to teach the stars at the moment, to teach high caliber people because they want to really go better than what they already are doing. And I have developed those skills and that
Mm.
ability to do that. So I'm not
Oh
like a
yeah.
normal singing teacher, where you go la la la
Yeah.
la la la. No, no, no. We go deeper than that. We go to a space where there's power in you, and that's
Yeah.
the most important thing. So that's my journey. I thought I'd give you a little bit of taste of what I've done and why I am
Yeah.
where I am and why I
Appreciate
can
that.
do what I do.
Mm.
But I hope your listeners can really take heed and
Oh yeah.
start using your voice more.
Definitely.
Start making sounds. Go around your house and go, oh, this is a good one. Walk around your house, everyone. Try this. Take a deep breath in and go, whoa. Just like that. Come on, the hand, let's hear you. Breathe. Oh.
Oh, I have to keep going more.
Not bad.
Keep going. Okay.
You
Yeah.
got to keep going. So you go, oh.
Oh, getting there.
Yes.
I like it.
Right? If you do
Yeah.
10 of those a day,
Oh yeah.
10 of those a day will start to awaken musculature in your voice, and you
Yeah.
will sound different when you speak. You will start to bring about, but you need
The
to do
channel.
more than that, of course. But that
Mm.
you're just seeing that alone 10 times a day, just playing with
Yeah, I
that,
can
or
feel the
when you're in
oxygen
the
in the
bath,
head. It's
you're
like
gonna,
suddenly it's awake.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's an awakening. So this
Mm.
work is an awakening. It's not just about singing or speaking. It's you've got to
Hmm.
wake your consciousness up
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you.
So
Thank you,
there you
Dr.
are.
Voice. Yeah, really appreciate yeah, all those amazing points and notes. Is there anything you have going, or is there any way people can maybe get in touch with you? Or hmm
Get in contact. Yeah, I mean, I do
hmm
online work with people, or people to come and see me in my recording
hmm
studio when they want to do serious work. I do a thing called the immersion days, which where I transform your voice in one day and
hmm
transform your perception
mm.
of who you really are, and it puts you on
Oh
a
yeah,
different level. It's quite powerful.
yeah.
That's a whole day. Then online I can do lessons, regular lessons, or just
Okay.
one-off lessons, 2-hour
What
sessions, whatever it is you want.
what's your sort of?
Awaken your vocals.
Sorry, go on.
My website, yeah, website is www.drvoice, drvoice
Hmm.
TV, and watch all the videos before you contact me, so it gives you an
Hmm.
idea of how I work with
Hmm.
people, especially the show reel and
Hmm.
CNN, who had me on, saying I'm a global influencer voice. They did a program on me, Passionate Portfolio. Watch all those because they give you an insight to how I may be able to help you. Because look, here's the thing, please, listeners. There's one thing I want to share this with you, that as much as what you may think about me and the way I've told you stories today, or whatever concepts you've got about me, here's the deal. When I was asked by Shine TV to do a BBC television program, they asked me, what is the biggest thing you've achieved in your life, Dr. Boyce? What is, you say, your go home powerful thing that you've achieved? And I could have gone through everything, like I've conducted the Philharmonia Orchestra, I worked with the Bee Gees, I worked with all the stars, the Beatles, Tom Jones, I've done all this stuff. I could have gone through all that, but I didn't. I sat there and I went inside and I said this, and I'm saying it to you today, every one of you. The biggest thing I've achieved the ability to experience nothing but unconditional love for every single person that's in front
Wow.
of me. No matter, no judgment, no agenda. I just want to get them to the optimum place they want to be in their life, in whatever way I can help them, through voice work, through coaching, through awakening something in them that will make them feel they're a better person. That is what I've achieved. That's what
Hmm.
I can put my hand on my heart and say, I'm good at doing.
That
I love
is
that.
that is amazing. That's awesome. So yeah, I we really appreciate all your time and all the great insights, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you, Naheem, for your
yeah,
time. And thank you, audience, for
yeah,
listening in, those that you have. And I hope you do take to heart some of the words that we've shared today. And thank you, Naheem,
yeah,
for this
yeah. My
wonderful
pleasure.
opportunity for
Okay,
sharing with
cheers.
everyone.